Hello and welcome to the Illinois State Fairgrounds, where if the dirt could talk, what tales it would have to tell. The Allen Crowe 100, part of the ARAC Re series here at the famous Springfield Mile, and we have a very, very pleasant afternoon of racing for you. I'm Brian Trevor, along with race car driver Mike Miller, but right now let's go back to Don Radebaugh for more of the story.
Manteca, California driver Scott Speed has raced in 7 different countries on the Formula One circuit all over the world, but never in a full-bodied stock car on dirt here in the Midwest. Scott, never before raced on a dirt track. Were you able to learn enough in practice today that's going to help you for today's race?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys with a lot of experience, and they've been very helpful. Frank especially is, giving me, for sure a good step forward. I think when we first unloaded, we were really quite horrible, so we've made a lot of improvement, and I think we could have a top 5 car, and if we can finish both of these dirt races in the top 10, I mean, that's what we need for points.
We'll keep an eye on it. That's Scott Speed. He rolls off 8th. He's the current ARAC Re Series National Championship point leader.
With all the reputation that Scott Speed has developed as the points leader, he's got a long way to go before he matches the record of Frank Kimmel. Look how many times he has won here. Let's go back to Don Radebaugh, who's with Frank.
In Frank Kimmel's last 10 starts on the Springfield Mile Dirt, his record has been phenomenal. Last 10 starts, he's won 6 races and finished second 4 times, average finish 1.6. And today, Frank, you're on the pole with a brand new track record. You haven't been to victory lane here in this series for nearly a year. Your thoughts heading into today's race?
Well, it's just great to be back here at Springfield. Bob Sargent, the guys have done a great job with the racetrack. Allowed a lot of people to break track, their track record, and we're excited. This 4-drive-1 Fusion has been fast all day. Hopefully we can keep it up here.
It's the same car that Frank Kimmel ran at Nashville Super Speedway last week. He's from the pole. Kimmel, the 9-time champion, ready to go at Springfield.
Of course, Frank Kimmel changing team owners and car numbers here just recently, but that won't throw us off our game as Don Radebaugh continues to tour around the starting grid. Once again, here's Don.
Roush Fenway Racing development driver Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is a rookie on the ARAC Re Series Tour, but not necessarily when it comes from the dirt track world. A dirt track veteran, Ricky, but you've never done it in a 3,400-pound stock car. What's the difference between running an open-wheel car and a big, heavy stock car, at least so far?
So far, it's just been a little transition from the weight difference. You got to be on top of the car a lot more. You just got to kind of predict what it's doing. But our guys got this Ford Fusion really good today, and think we got a good shot at it. We're just going to save our tires and make sure we're there at the end to hopefully gain some points today.
That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr., currently 3rd in ARAC Re Series National Championship points. He rolls off 3rd here this afternoon.
And with the helmets on, it's time for the most famous words in racing. And with that, Mike Miller, we fire him up, and boy, the sound of big horsepower here echoing out from underneath the roof of the Springfield Mile is a very, very special time indeed.
Well, they sure have this racetrack super prepared, and it's great to see the grandstand full, and we have a wonderful day for a super race.
On the starting grid, you're taking a look at all where the drivers are going to start, where they end up. Well, that's a subject for a few minutes from now. Let's go back to Don.
We've got to take our hats off to track promoter Bob Sargent, who's got this track preparation down to a science. 6 cars, the top 6 cars were under the existing track record set by David Luss back in 2006. This track is well prepared. It is lightning quick. I think we're going to see a big, big show here this afternoon.
Frank Kimmel on pole, Ron Cox on the outside in the number 29 car, the green flag in the hands of the starter, and as they come onto the front straightaway, it'll be waving. We'll be underway with the 46th running of this famous race here at the Springfield Mile. Frank Kimmel in the number 44 car after so many years in the familiar number 46. He will control the start of this race, and we'll see how it goes from there. The green flag is waving, but a great jump on the front row by Ron Cox has him pulling alongside of Kimmel and maybe into the lead.
Frank spun a tire on the start there.
Always a problem with trying to find that traction here. Sometimes you get just a little too overeager. Stand on the gas a little too hard. We've got a lot of stragglers at the back of the field. A half a dozen cars have moved away into the lead group, but it is Ron Cox leading Frank Kimmel and a gap back to the 99 car there of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who we heard from at the start of this race. Boy, these cars are nice and loose coming off the corner. They're going to lift the inside front tire like a lot of the Silver Crown cars do.
Yeah, but they're not sliding them into the corners completely sideways yet.
Stretching out in single file, we go back to 7th place. We're watching Scott Speed in the Red Bull car back there, the current ARCA Remax points leader. He's got his hands full. Frank Kimmel in 2nd position just seems to be content to sit behind Ron Cox, who's got plenty of speed. The gap is back to the 3rd place of number 99 of Stenhouse.
Well, I think Frank understands everything there is to know about this racetrack, and he's got a long race, and, you know, he's biding his time.
Well, everybody's looking for their positions in the field out there. Scott Speed in the number 2 Red Bull car, owned by Eddie Sharp. There he is in 9th position right now, leading a long line of cars. So we'll always keep our eye on the points leader, the man of the championship lead, as well as keeping track of who might pull off the win here today. Will Frank Kimmel return once again to victory lane? Well, he's certainly been there enough times already. Cars are spread out on this big track. It's very wide. It's a mile long. Plenty of racing room here today.
And so smooth.
Beautiful conditions for racing. Got a car off on the inside already. Some kind of mechanical problem for one of the cars. We'll keep track of that. There's Brian Tyler in 5th position. He's also got some battling going on. Cars in front, cars behind, but everybody's just kind of spread out right now, looking for their pace, see if they can find somebody to race with. It is a long event. You have to be patient. Ron Cox and Frank Kimmel up front. Cox in the number 29 car, Kimmel in the 44.
And the track continues to get blacker and blacker.
As they it's amazing how the rubber of the tires will mix with the dirt and form that blue groove, they call it. When the motorcycles race here, of course, the groove is much narrower, but with all this rubber being put down, there's lots of grip until you get out there in that real soft stuff. But later on, we may see some brave moves out there in the cushion to try to get it going. The Illinois State Fair going on, so fans have lots of things to do and enjoy before and after the races, but they're glued in their seats during this 100-mile race.
What a terrific facility again, Brian.
Stenhouse moving back to 4th position, having lost a spot, and trying to hold on. He really seems to be struggling a little bit with the setup on that car, maybe full fuel load. Look how he pushes wide, opens the door for the number 25 car of Brian Tyler to come through on the inside, but he can't make the move just yet. Stenhouse has definitely got the car, seems like it's just a little tight coming off the corners, and he pushes wide, especially as they come up the front straightaway. A nice pack of cars, though, gathering up behind Stenhouse, currently among the points leaders in the championship series. A young driver trying to make his name. Welcome once again to the Springfield Mile, the Illinois State Fairgrounds. Looking at a battle for 4th position right here. And as we watch these battles, Mike, it occurs to me that while ARCA started on dirt, they have certainly branched out in the variety of terrain and the variety of racetracks that these guys have to compete in. On back-to-back weekends is really something. I mean, road courses, dirt, ovals, you name it, they do it.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about the ARCA series is that every kind of racing these guys do. In fact, it would really be fun if you could have some of the the NASCAR Sprint Cup guys come down here. I'll bet you that the ARCA guys would give them a run for their money.
Well, they certainly do visit every now and then. Ken Schrader being a notable visitor from the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. As we see Stenhouse, who seems to have kind of gathered this car back up again. He's not losing positions. He's got plenty of racing going on behind him there. He's got A.J. Pike and the number 25 of Brian Tyler right behind him. But he's able to hold that car down a little bit tighter to the line. I mean, is this fuel load? Is this just getting used to the car? Why did he seem to go backwards at the beginning, and now he's kind of holding station at the very least?
Well, one of the reasons could be that the air pressure in the tires hadn't come up yet. He's getting a better feel for the race car. He's getting comfortable. You know, we're in the race now, and you get into the groove.
Dale Shearer going a lap down on the number 73 car on the inside, as now we see a change of position. Tyler is able to get around the 99 of Stenhouse, move to the front, and open a gap almost immediately. So Stenhouse is still kind of holding up the parade a little bit here, as A.J. Pike is all over the back end of him, and well, the chrome horn may be blowing. Yeah.
There, yeah.
Now he's got the inside, and it seems as though Stenhouse is just conceding some spots here. While it looked like he was going a little bit better, in fact, he's holding up the guys behind him, and they're starting to move around him. Go back to the front here once again. Number 29 of Ron Cox leading the 44 of Frank Kimmel. They're in some serious traffic here as they move around. They've got to pick their way through.
There.
Yeah. 57 car going a lap down. Kyle Chady out of Benton, Illinois.
The wily veteran is biding his time.
Well, Frank Kimmel has seen this movie before a few times, and the reruns on top of that. He knows exactly what to do and how long it takes. He's not going to make any impetuous moves early. He's going to count on the other guys to do that. He's just going to run steady out there and run close. Look at this. Whoa! Wow, look, I mean, Dexter Bean on the 37 car got a great run around the outside, while Kimmel and Cox got checked up behind the lap car. We've got a change of the leader, and he just snuck up and ambushed them.
Just one little tiny itty-bitty screw-up, and you lose the lead.
So, but did you see the way Dexter Bean was steaming around the outside? He saw that slow car and looked like he might have even predicted it. So here's Dexter Bean, our new leader. Ron Cox in the 29. Kimmel's the one that really got checked up behind the leader, picked the wrong way to go. And now we have the 37 Glock Chevrolet of Dexter Bean out front. Cox trying to close the gap, and Kimmel's playing catch-up, too. That was a cool move.
You bet. Good peripheral vision there by Dexter Bean.
He just came sneaking up the railing on the outside down the straightaway. He didn't have to go up in the cushion, but he was way on the right side. I almost thought he was a lap car moving over, but instead he is the new leader in the Glock Chevrolet. And now Kimmel is back in third with Ron Cox in between. So what was the battle for the lead is now a battle for second position, and Dexter Bean is scooting away. Nicely done. That Glock Chevrolet is out front. Here comes Frank Kimmel up the inside on Ron Cox. He's seeing Dexter Bean slide away and doesn't want to follow the 29 anymore. He wants to get out there and make the chase himself.
Well, I think that Ron kind of gave him the position there, too, a little bit.
Well, maybe he thinks Kimmel is faster, and with all the experience, he
there's two car lengths.
Yep, makes the chase a little bit better. Here's a lap car moving aside, and that's exactly what it looked like a few minutes ago. The 90 of Gabby DiCarlo, the brake clip Ford, moving over, but and then drops back in behind the leaders. So Kimmel chasing Dexter Bean in the 37 car. Those are our leaders.
And Kimmel is running them down.
Frank Kimmel making the move to get up to the front here. Once he gets out in front, it is always trouble. And it seems as though Ron Cox is having a little bit of issue right there. He got down into the dust, blew a little puff of dust up there. It wasn't smoke, but it looked like it for a second. That traffic moving over nicely. Here comes the Glock Chevy. Dexter Bean, number 37. He's got only Kimmel for company.
Oh, look
at Kimmel, threads the needle. Is he going to make it? Yes. Wow.
He got up in that blue stuff, Brian.
Dexter Bean has it back out of it. Here comes Ron Cox up the inside. He's joined the bully now. He's right back in the picture. But it's Frank Kimmel, the leader, moving around in traffic, and he's got Dexter Bean out there in the cushion. He's losing traction. Ron Cox tries up the inside.
No, it didn't work.
Yeah, he went sliding through there on the 40s to take over that, hold that third position, and now he's coming.
Yep.
Going for second. Going for second. Great three-way battle for the lead here.
This is great racing.
So it's Kimmel, Cox, and Dexter Bean. They've all switched spots. We'll be back with terrific action up front here in the ARAC Re Allen Crowe 100 Springfield Mile, but a little bit deeper in the field. There are lots of action that's just about as good, if not better at times. Here's a battle for seventh position. 60-car Patrick Shelter out of Florida. And he's got a tussle going on for a position. Everybody seems to find someone to race with out there through the entire field. And this time, though, the 60-car looks like it's definitely getting the better of it.
Interesting that the whole field is spread out, and yet there's still really good racing all the way around the racetrack.
Ken House went from third back to sixth. He seems to be holding station there as Frank Kimmel in the 44. Oh, the 06 going around. We saw him go a lap down earlier, and he just got caught up, maybe looking in his mirrors there. Hard to say. You tell me, Mike. He's already sideways when you get to the shop.
He probably got in there just a little bit too hard, and back end came out from underneath him.
Into the wall he went, so that brings out the first caution of the day here at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. So
look at how shiny the racetrack is, Brian.
Yeah, it's looking good. Looks just like pavement. Frank Kimmel goes to the pits. He's decided that an early stop, fuel it up. They're going for tires. They're just having a look.
Yeah, doesn't look like they're going to put any tires on it.
Well, I don't think tire wear is not such a big issue, and they don't have so many tires to use in these dirt track races because it just doesn't tear them up quite as bad as pavement. Frank Kimmel's in and out with a splash of gas. They hit down on the inside, come out through the wall. Backstretch, and we'll take another short commercial break. The lead has certainly scrambled around. Doug Keller in the 5 cars, now your leader. After the first caution of the day, the field is back out on the racetrack. Everybody trying to find their proper spot for the restart here as Frank Kimmel went in for a splash of gas and came back out again. We've got lead lap cars on the outside. And the green flag waving, our new leader, number 5, Doug Keller, trying to hold off Frank Kimmel, who dropped back into second position. A lot of cars went down pit road, and Kimmel came back out in second. The leader, number 5, Keller, stayed out there for track position.
Well, he's up the inside of him.
Yep, Kimmel's coming up the inside to retake the lead.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, that looked pretty easy indeed. Now, Frank Kimmel, without some of the cars that were challenging him earlier, they're buried a little bit deeper in the field, including Dexter Bean and Brian Tyler and some of the others that we saw up front earlier.
And Frank doesn't have to worry about any lap traffic now for a while because everybody's back behind him after the restart.
Indeed, he's got clear track in front of him for a while, and now's the time to make some hay. He's opened up a gap on the second place car. AJ Fike is back in third position.
Brian, revisiting what we were talking about a little earlier, again, I'm just in awe of these guys being able to go from a road course to the dirt. You know, that's very a lot of talent.
Well, it's a testament not only to the talent of the drivers in my mind, but of course the entire crew behind them, how they have to set the car up. There are such subtle differences, subtle nuances to racing in the dirt. You'll see a few of the cars, of course, that have been adapted especially for racing on dirt. With those little things, little chains or whatever hanging down in the front. Don't see any here, only a couple of them. And, you know, the setup has to...
What do we have here?
Problems for Kyle Chady in the number 57 car, running deep in the field, but he's pulled over to the edge of the racetrack there. Obviously some mechanical issue, no flag.
That may bring out a caution.
Well, I haven't seen one look in there. The officials aren't. He's got it in his hand. There it is. He's got it in his hand. He was waiting to see if the injured car would clear the racetrack. It did not. So we're under caution once again as the 57 car has come to rest on the backstretch down on the outside up against the State Fair.
Well, we're talking about looking at the tire change here now for some of the guys.
Scott Speed's crew standing by in case points leader was going to come in. Scott's quite a ways back in the field. There he is on the outside, about 5 or 6 rows back. Oh, Frank Kimmel, did he ever get a jump on the restart there? Left everybody in the dust.
Literally.
Yeah, the dirt and the dust, literally. He heads down the backstretch with 5-6 car lengths at least over the second place car. AJ Fike has moved around the 5 and into second position right now. Here's the battle for third.
There's a lot of action going on back there in third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh.
Dexter Bean among them, along with the 25 car. Brian Tyler, we've seen a lot of him during the course of the race. The block Chevy moving up in about 5th spot right there.
An awful lot of two-wide racing there, Brian.
He's just behind the 60 of Sheltra. Now they kind of single out a little bit. Still a few cars diving in there for position. Bob Strait comes rolling in to take the spot. The number 66 car, the Illinois driver.
I used to race against them.
Well, I imagine there might be a couple of guys out there you've had a little battle with every once in a while. The ARCA Series, Mike Miller made a lot of his reputation in the American Speed Association Series, which races many of the same tracks in the West and the West.
But not the dirt.
But not on dirt. You guys did a road course every now and then.
Yeah, but not the dirt.
And it was always a little problems for Dexter Bean slowing down in the Glock Chevy. A former leader of this race is going behind the wall. That's usually a big deal. Once the guy makes a turn in there behind the wall, there's something seriously wrong with the car.
And no yellow.
Caution flags. He just disappeared off the racetrack. AJ Fike, another Silver Crown veteran, open wheel sprint car guy that's come to the full-body stock cars.
I bet that's a big transition.
Well, we've seen a couple of those guys that do that, and of course the most famous example being in Sprint Cup racing here today, driving that famous number 24 DuPont car.
Well, Tony Stewart too.
Oh, there you go, Tony Stewart. Let's put them both in the same category then. Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart being former open wheel sprint car guys, Silver Crown USAC drivers. Scott Speed, the number 2 car, the points leader, riding an understandably cautious race to protect that championship lead. 7th position is where he is right now and about to lose it to the 09 car of John West Townley.
Again, there's a lot of good racing going on all the way around the racetrack.
Townley out of Watkinsville, Georgia, has made a long trip up here to Illinois State Fairgrounds to test this ARCA Re Series. And here are the leaders right now. Tyler in third, Sheltra and Stenhouse rounding out the top 5. 9-time champ Frank Kimmel still leads, but here is the current ARCA Re Series points leader Scott Speed in 13th position, trying to hold off a handful of cars behind him. And
for the first time on dirt, he's doing a great job.
too bad. It's just, well, it's only left turns. At least that part of it's simple.
That's right.
Can you imagine a dirt road course? Now that would be challenging.
Yes, indeed.
He's got lots of company, though. They're the 66. Bob Strait, another veteran driver in the ARAC Re Series. He's got speed in that Red Bull car. He's trying to hang on, collect as many points as he can. He is the very embodiment of versatility, as we learned early in the show. First, he's raced in Formula One, international competition, open wheel, sports cars, turn left, turn right. But he's found a home here in the ARAC Re Series in one of these full-body stock cars.
Well, these cars aren't nearly as agile as those open wheel cars, and these are big clunky tanks compared to those open wheel Formula One cars.
Oh yeah, indeed. Those are like skateboards. Here is Frank Kimmel coming up on that battle for 13th position involving Scott Speed. Kimmel leading the race. He's got the company there, the number 5 Doug Keller. A.J. Fike is currently in second position, and Keller's about to go a lap down. He's in between them right now in that yellow car. Kimmel weaves his way through some more traffic there as the 23 of Donnie Kelly moves over to let him go by. Fike is still stuck behind that 5 car. And so we've got 2 lap cars in between the leader and the second place car of A.J. Fike, number 12. Kimmel's taking advantage of this situation right now. And Fike has to find a way around those 2 lap cars.
And they're kind of dicing out amongst themselves.
Well, they've got their own battle going on. Yeah, they're a lap down. You know what? They're in probably, 14th or 15th slot, maybe a little bit further back than that. So they're racing for position. Now they
We've got them up the inside.
Move over in the straightaway, and A.J. Fike's able to slide through. They get to the flag stand and see that blue flag waving. They're going to give a little bit more courtesy. One of them drops right in behind. The number 5 car Keller drops right in behind, trying to resume his battle there.
Frank has picked up about 15-20 car lengths.
In the meantime, Frank Kimmel has scooted away, taking advantage of that battle behind him, and put some more distance in between himself and A.J. Fike. Fike's now really got to put his head down, get up on the wheel, and try to close the gap. He's got a chance of trying to win here against Frank Kimmel.
Can't spin the tires, though.
Well, practice is always at a premium, so look for it wherever you can. And that blue groove is obviously got the most traction down low. So anytime you have to move out, that's going to be traction compromised.
Indeed.
Kimmel's got to go wide around the 90 car of Gabby DiCarlo. The brake clips number 90 there. But he does so without incident on a straightaway. That's the way to do it. Frank Kimmel has just been the standard by which everyone in this series has been judged for so long. Well, like I've said before, there's no mystery to how good you have to be. You have to be that good to be an ARCA champion.
Well, it goes back to the setup of the car. This guy totally understands about shocks and how hot they get when they're going through the bumps and how the shock oil thins out. And these guys know what's going on.
Well, it's one thing to make the car handle for a few laps, and it's quite another to live with what you've got left at the end of the race. Experience is the only key for that. 99, Ricky Stenhouse in 4th position now, still racing well. Trying to close some ground on the leader. You can see him up there. There is Frank Kimmel. Not hard to spot.
Sunday drive.
He's just out there cruising around. Got an arm up on the windowsill there, and he's having a good time. Frank Kimmel and his brother have been preparing these cars together for so long that it's become almost second nature to them. They've become innovators. It's a lot of what others do is what he's already done before.
I'd like to say he's tuning the radio, but actually he's in there and he's actually working very, very hard, and especially on the concentration part. One lap has to, you have to, every single lap, you have to hit your marks. You have to be constantly 100% paying attention to what the car's doing.
A.J. Fike is making up some ground on him. Once he got clear of those lap cars, he's got clean track in between he and Kimmel, so Kimmel is certainly keeping an eye on A.J. in the mirror, and he's only driving as hard as he has to. If A.J. gets a little closer, he can pick up the pace and keep him a little bit in reserve, no doubt.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully indeed. Meanwhile, the guys on pit wall, his crew, are probably having their own nervous moments. Every time he comes up on some lap traffic and has to go out there and do stuff.
I think Fike is closing on him. Well, he's going to close now when we get up to this lap traffic.
Well, because as long as these lap cars are still racing among themselves, not paying attention to the leader coming up behind him. Here he gets. Oh! And
got up in the loose stuff.
What was that? He just got. And, he couldn't keep it off the fence out there. He just
got his right side tires up on his loose stuff.
And backed it into the wall just a little bit there. Not a lot of damage. after a caution to have a look at the racetrack. We're underway once again. Frank Kimmel throwing up a cloud of dirt just in front of the number 25, Brian Tyler. And these guys, the track is definitely eroding a little bit. We're seeing marks, of course, that lead to the walls. They had a look at some oil on the racetrack, and it's definitely drying up, and potholes are starting to develop. Well, that's just part of the challenge.
Indeed.
And look at these guys still scattering every which way.
Four wide.
Yeah, trying to find a way up the inside. Down on the low line is definitely the fast way around the racetrack, but on these restarts, every man for himself.
Great job, great save.
Nicely done. Hesser third there. Patrick Shelter running in 7th position. Frank Kimmel is your leader and undisputed at this point since early in the race.
Yeah, the cars are getting
73 car. Dale Shearer owns his own race car and drives it here. The Shearer Racing Ford, he's taking a spin.
That's a beautiful profile of the car. I hate it that he's up against the wall, but it's a very nice looking race car.
Make a poster out of it.
Indeed.
Like that, but it's he's having some trouble getting it refired. It's certainly not moving. He's fine. There's no injury or obvious damage to the car. But we're under caution once again. We'll bunch the field up behind Frank Kimmel and give them all another shot at the 9-time champ.
The cars are getting looser and looser, Brian. You know, they're prime example there, but you can just see them coming up off the corner. They're looser and looser.
And the blue groove is getting narrower and narrower. This dirt and dust is starting to get thrown up on the outside. Now he's got the car moving again. So Shearer gets going, and there's the damage
from the wall.
Yeah. Doesn't look as good from this side.
No, but it's not very much damage.
No, he's got nothing rubbing. That's just cosmetic. They don't even have to do any big guy body work on that.
Nope.
No baseball bats. Dale Shearer takes the number 73 car to the attention of his crew, or at least back around to the tail end of the field to resume racing once again.
The Hoosier Radials have certainly done a great, held up well today.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of tire changes. We saw when Kimmel went down, his crew just had a look at the tires.
You can see the racetrack now, Brian. If you look at it, there's some bumps developing.
Well, those brown holes are just potholes where that hard rubbery mix of dirt and tire, it's pulled up. There's like potholes developing.
This is where the shot guy, earns his money.
This is where the experienced driver earns his money too, trying to avoid those potholes. Frank Kimmel in the 44 car leads the number 25 of Brian Tyler. Stenhouse in 4th position.
A beautiful afternoon.
Yes, indeed. There are clouds in the sky, but they're just there for looks.
Cumulus.
Nice puffy little clouds. Great day for driving. Great day for doing just about anything.
Great day for watching a terrific race here at Illinois State Fair Speedway.
Lots to do and see here. Not only the rides on the fairground, but some of these guys taking a while. Well, we haven't seen any real wild rides yet. Pace car signaling. Lights are out. He'll be going down on the pit road, leaving the racetrack for the race cars.
Would you say that Frank Kimmel has basically dominated this race so far?
Well, we're used to seeing Frank Kimmel dominate races and the entire series for years, but again, you know how good you have to be. You have to be good enough to beat him. Stenhouse in 3rd. 46, Matt Carter. That's the former car of Frank Kimmel. Larry Clements, number 46. He's in 4th position right now. Race car moves away.
Looks like we're going.
And here we go racing again with Frank Kimmel kicking up a little bit of dust.
You know, cautions breed caution, so don't be surprised if, as much as the group is narrowed up, that we may not see another caution here pretty quick.
Good hard racing going on there. Tyler Malsom in that Dodge development car in 5th position. He's got a couple of guys behind him that want the spot awful bad. He's just behind Carter in that 46 car. Now they've singled out a little bit. Everybody's falling in line behind Kimmel. Kimmel, then Tyler, then Stenhouse, the top 3 right now, and they have edged away from everybody else. Good cars have a way of finding the other good cars.
We're basically single file right now.
Hessard in the number 1 car is getting a little bit of a challenge from 16. Justin Allgaier making a late race run. He picked up a
good race here too, Brian.
He picked up a couple of spots Allgaier did on the restart. And Carter's leading a pretty good herd of guys that are trying to close in on him. Losing a couple of spots on the restart was Sheltra in 60. He was Stenhouse up at the 5th spot, drop back a spot or two now. So Stenhouse all over the back of Brian Tyler's Jetstar Toyota. Now they spread out a little bit. Kimmel just manages to get away enough where he doesn't have to worry about racing anybody. Just hitting his marks and running consistent laps. Big hole developing in the inside. There's another one on the exit, and the 24 car has gone around. Getting ready to restart here, and laps are winding down in this 100-miler at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. A really interesting battle right now is for second position. Brian Tyler has got Ricky Stenhouse all over his bumper. Every time they go racing, they're trying to avoid those potholes that are starting to develop now, so it's changed the racing line. There's a couple more of them, as you can see, starting to pop up there.
This is going to be a very interesting match between the Stenhouse and
Tyler.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yep, Frank Kimmel's got them all covered, though. On the restart, he controls it. He opens up a couple of car lengths. Second and third open 3 or 4 car lengths on fourth, and that's the battle. Look at Stenhouse all over the back of Tyler there, second and third. Here's a nice little tussle going on, 4th, 5th, and 6th behind them. Frank Kimmel is your leader. He's clear. Stenhouse is pushing.
He will only have so much patience.
Here he comes. Contact? Well, not yet.
Yep, there was a little bit.
Tiny little bit of touching going on there.
Let him know he's back there. Everybody help him out. Here comes the white.
White flag lap, 1 mile to go. Frank Kimmel's your leader, but the real race is going on for second. Looks like 4th, 5th, and 6th have spread out a little bit, so here's your battle. Ricky Stenhouse in the 99, the youngster we heard from at the beginning of this race. Frank Kimmel's clear going down the back stretch. No challenge for him. Here comes Stenhouse up the inside. Oh, didn't get the fender in there, but oh, Tyler's loose. Stenhouse goes through the potholes. He's alongside, and there's the contact. No question about it. He moves him, he passes him, and that's a great. And look at this.
Save there,
yep, Tyler had to gather it up to hold on to third, but what a great move by Stenhouse for the runner-up spot. Kimmel's your leader. He'll carry the checkered flag, but the real.
You knew that was going to happen. You knew that Stenhouse was not going to sit back there and finish third if he had a better car than you.
Frank Kimmel won the race, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. stole the show on the final lap. Let's take another look at it. Kimmel's your leader. He's clear. Here comes Ricky Stenhouse up the inside.
He's there. Tyler closed the door, but Stenhouse stayed in there.
Just good old.
Now there's eight tires slide sideways.
Yeah, bumper cars at the State Fair, only it's out there on the racetrack. Here's Frank Kimmel. Got his hand out the window, ready to grab that checkered flag and salute the crowd.
That was fun. That was a great finish there for second, third.
Yet another win for Frank Kimmel as his crew comes over to greet him.
And the old veteran does it again.
Yep, a job well done by the man from whom we've expect nothing but a good job. Frank Kimmel wins again here at the Illinois State Fair. And with that, he'll take his victory lap of honor. When he comes back, we'll be there to talk to him. Well, Frank Kimmel has earned yet another victory, and the crew is running over there to the car after he comes back with the checkered flag. And
good job.
Yeah, Mike Miller, you know, it's just, it's amazing to watch a guy.
Winning is just very, 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 very hard, and this guy has done unbelievably well.
Here's the results. Kimmel, of course, over Stenhouse and Tyler. Scott Speed, the championship points leader, back in 8th position.
First time on the dirt.
Doing what he had to do to maintain that points lead. We hope you see the name of your favorite driver as we scroll through the remaining results. Of course, some attrition took its toll at the end of this one, but as Frank Kimmel starts to climb out of the car, you know that Don Radebaugh is the man on the spot. He'll be right down there with a microphone, and let's hear what the multi-time champ has to say.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the 9-time ARAC Re Series champion, and now 7-time winner on the Springfield Mile Dirt. Wow. High five for sure, all across the board. Frank, congratulations. It's been nearly a year since you went to Victory Lane. How good does it feel for it to be here on the Springfield Mile Dirt?
Well, it's great to be in Victory Lane, but to be here in Springfield is really special. And what a race car. I don't know if we have any better race car ever here at Springfield. It just ran really good all day, and just had a little bad start on restarts. I think didn't want to take off real good, but other than that, it was great, and just a great day.
Well, tell me about the day. Any close calls for you out there? You were out front most of the day. You almost made it look easy.
It wasn't easy.
Man, I tell you what, those cars that were running right behind us, they were fast, and we just had to mind our business, get to turn 1 really clean, and we thought once we made a good turn 1 and 2, and it would be okay. And turn 3 and 4 started coming apart a little bit, so it was kind of made a degree of difficulty we had to deal with. But what a great day!
Last 11 starts here, 7 victories, 4 seconds, an incredible record. What does it mean to you?
That means a lot, Don. This is Springfield's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place to be, and to win here, just a pretty neat place.
Woo! Well, I guess that woo says it all as we take a look at the point standings. Scott Speed still holding on over Stenhouse, who finished second here today, doing what he had to do, and you know it's really going to the wall here. Let's go back to Don Radebaugh.
Oh, Ricky Stenhouse made a last lap pass for second. Very good day for you. Congratulations. How do you see it?
Thank you. I think it was a pretty good day. We had a pretty decent car there at the end, a little tight in 1 and 2, but we were really good through 3 and 4. And I'm just glad to get this Ford Fusion back up front, and hopefully we can get back on a roll here these next few weeks and gain some points.
Did the car get better as the race went on?
It did get better in 3 and 4. Got a little tighter there in 1 and 2. We made a track bar adjustment, tried to help that out, but it helped a little bit, but not for a while, and just a little too tight. If we could have fixed that, we might have been pretty good, but all in all, it was a good day, and I'm glad to be here and just glad to go to Du Quoin.
Your first ever time in a big heavy stock car on the dirt. What'd you learn today?
Learned a lot. You just got to get this thing turning around the guardrail, and if you get it turning, you'll be good. So we got a little work to do. We'll, we don't have a lot of work to do, but we kept the fenders on it, so we got something to work with for Du Quoin.
All right, that's Ricky Stenhouse climbing back to the points. He was second today at Springfield.
And indeed, they'll be on to Du Quoin for another dirt race. Mike, your final thoughts?
Congratulations to Frank, and also Ricky did just a super job there to get second.
We'll see you next time. For Mike Miller, I'm Brian Drever. So long.